In preparation for the holidays and the soon coming new year and all the resolutions, I have a question for you. Why do we do the wrong thing? When we know what we should be doing, what the right thing is, and yet we do the wrong thing. Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast, 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. In my years on this earth, and last Sunday, 2 days ago, was my 51st birthday, so I've got a couple of years on this earth now. Honestly, surprised I made it this far. But I've noticed that there's this pattern of, well, my own self, for sure, but of pretty much every human that I know. And that pattern exists in the reality that we know the right thing, but we do the wrong thing. And I don't just mean right and wrong from a standpoint of some moral judgment that everyone else has cast on you. I mean the basic silly stuff, like walking past the leaves in the yard when you know you should rake them up, because if you don't, they'll eventually kill the grass. They'll eventually begin to mold and turn into mulch, and if they don't kill the grass, at least they're going to smell for a while before they dry out and organically go back into the earth. But at any point, you could have just grabbed a rake or grabbed a leaf blower and cleaned up the mess. It's kind of like when you drop that piece of peanut butter toast and it sticks peanut butter down to the floor, and you pick it up and realize, I can't eat it, I'll just throw it away. But then you know you should get some proper cleaning tools like Lysol or something. Instead, you just throw the dish rag on the floor and wipe it up with your foot. Maybe I'm the only one, and I'm just imagining all the other humans that I've seen do that. But I don't think so. No, I think that it's a common thing for us to know what we should do, what we ought to do, what would be honestly in our best interest, what would be the right thing in the near outcome and the long-term outcome as well. What would be the right thing to do? And yet we have, as humans, a really hard time doing that right thing. It's so much easier. I walk into the Cheesecake Factory. I love their happy hour. I can get their little dumplings for half price and have a glass of water with lime and leave the Cheesecake Factory for under $10. Who knew that could happen? But in happy hour, you can pretty much get full on an order of dumplings for under $10. That's a pretty good deal. That's better than Taco Bell. It's better food and better company most of the time as well. The problem is that enormous display of cheesecakes and the smell of the coffee and the creamers and the cheesecakes that just slam you on the floor like a bodybuilder or a wrestler and just hold you down and force you to eat cheesecake. Okay, it's not quite like that, but it feels like that for me because I'm a sweets addict and a diabetic, and those two are really bad combination. So how then do we ignore the little voices going on off in our head that say, you realize how many miles you're going to have to troll through the neighborhood to walk off that piece of chocolate cake? Do you have any idea how long it's going to take before your wife stops harassing you about your waistline ever expanding if you eat that piece of chocolate cake? Do you have any idea what your doctor's going to have to say about your blood sugar if you eat that piece of chocolate cake? And yet the chocolate cake has a death grip on me, slamming me around like a pit bull with a stuffed doll. Again, maybe I'm the only one who has these challenges. But it could be, that addiction to shopping. Black Friday's coming up this week. Maybe it's that I'm going to move all the money on my credit cards to one place so that I can do all the shopping that I want to for the purpose of Christmas, even if I'm just buying, stuff that I like, and maybe I'll give it as a gift to somebody else, and maybe I'll just keep it. Maybe I'll just take advantage of all the Black Friday sales for my own benefit. Retail therapy can be as much of an addiction as chocolate cake or crack cocaine. And if you have ever experienced that, you know that what I say is true. Maybe it's just a bad relationship that you keep running back to, or that constantly seeking a new relationship. But see, all of these things have short-term consequences and long-term consequences, maybe short-term benefits and long-term price to be paid. And the question that I'm asking, and I'm not going to give you my ideas or my answer on the how. I want to hear yours first. Tomorrow, I'll tell you my ideas on how. But today, I would like you to share this video. I'd like you to comment either in the post when you share it or in the comments below and say, here's why I think we do the wrong thing when we know the right thing. Why do we spend all of our money shopaholic-wise when we know that we're going to have big bills to pay come next year? Why do we eat the chocolate cake when we know the miles we're going to have to put on the treadmill or walking around the neighborhood? Why do we continue to run into these bad relationships? Why do we do it? And better yet, how do we stop? How do we do the right thing when the wrong thing seems so appealing in the moment? I'd love for you to answer that question in the comments below or to share it. This will also be posted on my website, jlorennorris.com/podcast, on the Leading Leaders Podcast, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, etc. So I will combine all of the answers that I get from all of those fields, and I will put them on the ones on the website, and I will also put them back on the Facebook for the post tomorrow. So I'd love to see your comments and your thoughts as we go into the holidays and the possible resolutions for next year. Why do we do the wrong thing when we know the right thing? And how do we stop? I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.